If your age is between teenage age, early 20s, mid 20s, late 20s, I'm pretty sure that most of us have struggled with this part of adulthood that is not usually talked about, and it's the uncertainty that comes with adulthood. A lot of things surrounding growing up, especially if you're between the transition between being a teenager and getting into your 20s. A lot of expectations you set for yourself, expectations society sets for you, especially as women, where we're giving timelines. This is the right thing that should be done. This is the right way it should be done at this age, at this certain point in time. And the things that are always spoken and told about is how to achieve these expectations, how to achieve these milestones, how to not feel so bad even if you do not achieve these milestones. But the things that is hardly spoken about is the uncertainty that comes with it, along with the responsibilities, the amount of pressure you have on you because of how uncertain you are, that this part of your life, being an adult, a new adult, brings to your life. You're out here always asking yourself the question, will I make it? Will I find the right partner? Will the right partner find me? Will this job fulfill me? Will I get the amount of money that I wish to get in order to take care of not just myself, but my family members? Your parents are getting older. Your parents are visibly getting weaker. Most of your parents are getting retired. And especially if you are the first child in your house, you know that the responsibilities that are coming for you are increasing, and you're so scared because you've never lived this life before, you've never been this age before. All you're hearing is other people's experiences, but you're not sure if your own experience will be as good as theirs or even worse than theirs. You're just living in a loophole of uncertainty, especially for someone like me that I like to have plans. I like to follow a particular schedule. Adulthood does not go with schedule because life can be so rosy at this point, and the next minute you're down to square one. You're starting all over again, and you've not lived this life before. Even if people are giving you advice, which is, we are really blessed with social media, which is filled with so many people who are willing to share their own life experiences, their advice to you, which can be a little bit of a guide to you how to tackle certain difficult situations in your life. But how sure are you that this advice that they are giving you will work out in favor for you as it did for them? That's another thing you're thinking about. How sure am I that this person telling me that I should do this way, it makes things easier for her or for him in this area of their life? And you go ahead and put it into practice. How sure are you it's going to work out for you the same way it worked out for them? That's the thing with adulthood. Adulthood is like you're in a gambling game. You're putting in your best foot forward. You think might be your best foot forward, but you end up seeing that that best foot you put forward might not actually be your best foot forward. You're just trying. You're in a constant state of trying and failing, and social media is not even helping that much in certain areas that people are putting out just the good parts of their life on social media. And I'm not even against it because the world is really hard. Why come and make social media even harder? But it's just affecting the younger adult, the younger generation even more, because you're now exposed in that developmental age and you're exposed to the luxury of life. You might be inclined to thinking that life is always going to be that rosy. Let me say in your relationship, you're coming online, the only things you're seeing are, the ahs and the ahs, and then you meet real life relationship issues and you back off immediately because you've been exposed only to the ahs and the ahs and less of the rigidity. I'm not here to tell you that relationships should be hard. I'm not an advocate of hard love, but everything that is worth staying has its own ups and downs. And that's the same thing with adulthood, especially when you've been so sheltered when you're younger and you're just exposed to social media. When you come and meet real reality of life, especially in this economy and hardships, you're taken aback. That's another thing with adulthood. When you're younger, you're thinking, oh, I'm going to be an adult, I'm going to come and explore the world. And then you come into the world and there is nothing to explore. And even if you want to explore, the finances are not there to explore it. Reality is hitting you like a brick wall, and that's another thing you're not really prepared for, the reality that comes with being an adult. Like I said before, you're seeing your parents visibly get older, you're praying and hoping that they live long to enjoy the fruit of their labor, which is the investments they've made onto their children. And then you're praying also that you get the chance to give your parents that life you envisioned for them that is even better than the life that they gave you. But as you're working really hard to impress your parents, it meets the reality that it is not to achieve that dream for you. Certain roadblocks might come, and it brings about the seasonal depression we see that is continuously flowing in this our era, especially with so many things that has happened in the past couple of years. It has really affected our mannerisms, our way of life, our emotions as individuals. Talk about the pandemic, talk about the series of wars. The government is really not even helping matters. So you're faced with so many things that are not exactly what you've envisioned for yourself as an adult. And that could lead to you constantly beating up yourself, especially with the comparisons we create in our heads with our age mates. Really limits us from seeing what exactly we've achieved for ourselves, and it makes it hard for us to be actually proud of ourselves, even though your life now compared to maybe 2 years ago is way better. But you find it really hard to see that you've progressed in a significant rate, because to you, your progress, you're comparing it to someone else's progress. Many other time again, you come on social media and you meet the advice of change your routine, change your environment. Like it's that easy, especially in reality in life. These people that are speaking to you on social media, their life might not be as rigid as your life. Like for me, for example, I can't just wake up and change my routine just like that. My life as a medical student is very unpredictable. I might say, okay, today I'm going to go on a vacation, like they're preaching for you to do. And then you're in that vacation and you have an exam that pops up in your face all of a sudden. And then you're in that vacationing. Is your life not over like that? And you come on social media and you're hearing change your routine, change your environment. Like, how am I supposed to change my environment? Well, literally, the plane ticket I'm going to use to go to the next state, not even the next country, the next state is literally like times two, three on someone else's meager salary, and not the social media salary. These people that are giving you their advice, they are giving you based on their own life experiences, and then you that might be watching it as a viewer, you might not be able to relate, which brings about the comparison, which brings about you feeling like you've not achieved it or you're not making it in life, because this person that is giving you an advice looks like they have their life all figured out, and you're right here, you're rotten. And we also don't talk about the constant state of boredom that we feel as individual, which is why social media addiction is on the rise, because we're bored. The new generation of adults are bored. We literally cannot have a good time without squandering a decent amount of money, especially in this economy where everything has risen. You might say, let me take myself out once or twice, and that once or twice is going to cost you two, three times what it would have cost you 2, 3 years ago. And by the time you make all these calculations, the best bet is for you to just stay at home, eat, and scroll. And then you're in a constant state of looking at other people's life and feeling bored and tired. And then you have to wake up tomorrow again to continue with the same routine and the same pattern of life. This is another thing that adulthood brings to you that you really do not mentally prepare yourself for. And then we now talk about the timelines and expectations that the world has in place for you. By the time you're 25, you should be getting married. You should have this career going for you. You as a man, you should already have your car in place, your finances in check, and then you have to, start planning your life, how to make babies. And literally, Average 25 this period is literally still trying to find their foot in the world of adulthood. You are trying to find your footing, and yet society is looking at you like you're wasting your time because you're not yet where you're supposed to be. And then the married ones are advising you, please make sure you live your life to the fullest. Do not conform to societal blah blah blah. And then the older married ones are telling you, make sure you take care of yourself. And then you're telling yourself, these people that are telling you this, they're already married. It's a constant cycle of confusion. You're trying to follow society standards. Society is telling you do not do this, and then you're telling society I need to do this because you that are telling me not to do this, you're doing it too. It's a constant state of confusion, tiredness, boredom, uncertainty. And one thing I've learned so far as a young adult is to focus on things that I can control, because all these things that are happening, there are certain things that you can do and control, and there are certain things that are not within your power. And one thing again that I've noticed with us as young adults is we tend to focus on things that are not within our power as a human being, and it can be very draining. And that's what brings about the seasonal depression, the anger, the anxiety, because you're thinking about the things that are not within your control. You're thinking about, oh my god, I really really need to get this man to like me, and it's not in your power to change his emotions towards you. It's all on him. All you have to do is be yourself, and then let him see you being yourself is truly what his investment. But instead of you being yourself, you go ahead to think about how to change his emotions towards you, and that brings about the resentment that comes with you saying, oh, I'm trying my best to let him see me, but he's not seeing me. Instead of you to just be you and observe, or is he attracted to this me? If he's not good and fine, to save yourself the stress. But instead of doing that as young adults, we tend to go to change the individual that we're looking for their attention. Another thing is, say for those who are still under the world of academics, instead of thinking of how can I, what can I do to cover what I need to cover in these exams, you're thinking about, oh, am I going to pass? Am I going to fail? Your power lies on your preparations. Your power lies on you doing the right thing at the right time, and then leaving the rest to God and the person that is going to mark your script. Because no matter what you do, no matter what you write, you're not the one that will be giving yourself that score. You're not the one that is going to be marking your script. All you're going to be doing is to read and then to write. You might as well just pour your energy into these two, and then let the remaining things run its course. Because by the time you pour your energy into things that you cannot change, you cannot work on, it drains you and limits the strength you're going to be putting into the things that you actually need to work on. So that's one thing I've started practicing as a young adult that's helping to alleviate me, especially with uncertainties that comes with adulthood. You're not constantly thinking, oh my god, I'm not making money right now and I cannot help my parents right now. And since there's no money right now, how am I supposed to help my parents? You're not thinking about the things that you have at this point. Okay, you do not have money. What do you have? Your character. How can my character, how can the way I'm living bring joy and happiness to my parents? Because you cannot control the amount of money you have with you at the moment. So you cannot be thinking and pouring your energy into that because you're trying to impress your parents. And this is one of the things that tends to make young adults to lean to doing the wrong thing in the name of trying to impress the people that they love. You dabble into the wrong activities just because you are craving that finance and you're not patient enough for it to come at the right time, and you're not also patient enough to just focus on the things that you have at this moment that could make them happy in another way other than the finances. So I tend to think about what can I do that I have right now that is within my control, that I can do, that I can continuously practice, that can make the people around me and myself happy as well. And I'm not thinking about the things that I do not have yet. I'm thinking about the things that I have in place. You cannot control the things you don't have, but you can control the things that you already have. So one thing I've learned as an adult is to focus on the things I have presently. The things that I do not have yet, they will come. But until then, let's start with the ones we have. If we're able to handle the things we have now, when the things we want comes, we'll be able to handle them even better. So I think about the things that I have now that I can do, that I can manage, that I can, practice, that will make myself happy at this point in life, make the people around me happy at this point in life, without necessarily compromising my values. Just because you're rushing with society, you're trying to rush time, you're trying to run faster than your shadow, you now dabble into things that are not worthy of being dabbled into, just because you feel like you do not have it now and you want to have it right now. If not now, not ever. Another thing again that has been helping me out through navigating adulthood is learning from other people's mistakes and not having the mindset of it could never be me. It could 100% be you. Just because this person tells his or her story and then you look at them and you're like, how can you be so dumb? How can you just let these things happen to you? Instead of you listening to them and trying to grab one or two things or understand where he or she made their mistakes and try to apply that to yourself as well, and not be like, oh, it could never be me because I'm prettier, I'm smarter, I'm richer. It could 100% be you. So another thing I do is I try to learn from other people's mistakes. I don't have to have things happen to me first before I learn. I can't be like, oh, this thing happened to this person, it can never happen to me. As long as I have the opportunity to hear their story, I might as well apply it in my life as well. Another thing again that has been helping me out so far is learning to never give up on myself. You might give up on every other thing, but ensure that you do not give up on yourself, because last is you. It's just you that came into this world by yourself. And other people could leave, but the only person that you have for sure in this world is yourself. You have your family, you have your friends, quite all right, but these people could leave. Like, they could decide to wake up and leave at some point in their life, and you do not have the control over their decisions. But the only person that you're certain of having control over his or her decisions, over their emotions, over their sustainability is yourself. So it's one thing to be like you're giving up on every other thing around you, but the thing you should never give up on is yourself. So as long as you're powering through the uncertainties of life, the stress that comes with it, the boredom, the tiredness, as long as you do not give up on yourself throughout this process and throughout this journey, because it is an everlasting journey. You're constantly finding yourself, you're constantly evolving, you're constantly being thrown with stress. But as long as you do not give up on yourself throughout this journey, then you're good. You're doing great. Okay? I'm Abby, a student doctor based in Nigeria, currently in her 5th year of studies, and I remain your favorite host of Tea Time with ABW, a series on this channel where I aim to bring sanity back into this insane world by sharing my own solicited opinions. And if you've gotten to this point of the video, it's obviously been enjoying me so far, so why haven't you subscribed? Like this video, because it helps YouTube to push this video to more like-minded people like you. And go ahead and become a bandmate today by subscribing and turn on your post notification bell so that you don't miss out on any video that drops on this channel. Go ahead and check out this episode right here where I spoke about how your selfish era is affecting your social life. And I'll see you guys very soon in my next video. Until then, stay happy and stay blessed. Bye.